everybody, it is Calxiyn here. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember that you guys should become patrons.
I have a stain on my shirt, but it's just water.
Patreon.
So I want to share the...
What is this?
The straps that you hold it up on.
Oh, for a t-shirt though?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it
You
is...
usually only have that on shirts that are sleeveless.
I guess? I don't know.
Anyway. So we're gonna do our analysis of the episode and our comments and whatever else this is called. I don't remember. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the episode. So obviously we start with the Nomad. He isn't doing so hot. I don't know why he didn't just clap to
undo his...
do the... No, not undo his thing. He can't do it because it was holding it.
Okay.
But why didn't he have Fireboy clap, like, and have, you know, like the fire stick, the torch, as some people call it, the torch, and then burn off the ropes instead of him just setting his hands on fire. I guess he's not thinking too rationally anyway.
His hands were tied up, so he couldn't clap.
Oh, so he could only clap after he burned himself and have all the water help him. Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Good catch, Hunter. I would have been like, the fuck is going on? But no, you knew. Yeah, this was a really good episode.
That was dramatic. I think I was grabbing onto your hands and or arms a lot during that.
Yeah.
And maybe it was... Did it hurt after a while?
No.
Like the vice grip? Okay, that's good.
I'd like to do, not now, but I'd like to do sort of a video, like, comparison about Ruby and Nomad of Nowhere, just as... like, Rooster Teeth properties and the strengths and weaknesses of both, you know what I mean? Because they can be more compared than Camp, right? Camp's you can't really compare Camp to Ruby, because it's not remotely the same thing, but this is, despite, like, the difference in animation, obviously one's 2D and one's 3D, they have a very similar, I guess, like, they're in a similar genre, they're in a similar enough genre
Adventure.
To an extent, like, adventure, fantasy,
person with magic
stuff.
maidens / nomad.
Yeah, you know, stuff like that. There are parallels to be made.
This is a very dramatic episode.
Yes.
You see a lot more of Toph and Scout.
Yeah, so they're gay.
Well, yeah, it was
congratulations.
already very clear. Toph was straight up like, "But I like you," and I'm like, "Oh,
you mean Scout?
Honey.
Scout said that,
rather.
yeah. And Toph was
Toph,
obviously
like,
very apologetic. But it's...
Until she realized that Scout, you know, was a friend to the Nomad.
Yeah, I mean, I understand where both of them are coming from, I guess. Like, if Toph really thinks that this is the only thing that can save her people, like, it's sort of the needs of the many sort of thing, and so I can see why Toph would be, I guess, like, mad that Scout sort of, like, Scout knew that, but went against it anyway, but at the same time, Scout is doing so of her own ideals and her own ethics, or morals, you could say. So I understand both of them, and that's the important thing, is that Scout and Toph, like, you're not, I mean, I don't anyway, like, I don't side with either of them, you know what I mean? Like, it's, how do I explain this?
I vehemently side with Scout.
Really? But you understand where they're coming from, is what I'm saying. I'm
I mean,
saying
I
that neither one of them
from.
is the villain of the situation. That's what I'm trying to say, is that you may, like, lean towards Scout's side, or you may, like, lean towards Toph's side, but it's not like, oh my god, like, Toph is so selfish, or whatever, or like, oh, Scout's such an idiot, you know what I mean? Like, I think that they've done a good way in making them both compelling enough that not only could you side with either of them, but you also understand enough that you're not overly, I guess, angry at one of them over the other. Does that make sense? Like, you're not like, oh wow, like, Toph is such a bitch. Like, nobody's, I mean, I hope not. But I think that's the intention, is to make them both compelling enough that not, like, neither one is necessarily, like, wrong in what they're trying to do. That they both have their own reasons, and so it's basically what I said before. It's not like, I mean, I don't know how other people feel, but I would say that, like, we as the audience, like, that most of us will be able to sympathize with both of them, and it's not that, like, oh, like, Toph's the villain here, right? I think it's more like, Toph is doing what she thinks is right, Scout is doing what she thinks is right, and the villain at the end of the day is the Dawn for not holding up his end of the bargain, and also Red Manuel for just being a big old jerk. So that's...
And not very good at his job.
No.
It also makes you wonder how Dawn Paragon came into
picked
power.
these people and, like, came into
Came into
well,
power
it
more.
could be hereditary. His dad could have been a big a big...
Yeah, that makes more sense than
dude,
just him taking it for himself.
Is Kingpin the proper word that I'm thinking of here?
Warlord, Kingpin, same thing.
Yeah,
really.
you know what I'm saying? Like, his dad could have been, or his mom, I don't know. I don't know how this world works. It could be a... Matriarchy, yeah. And then the Don was the only one left, so it's like, whoopsies, right? You know what I mean? Like, imagine, like, being the Don's dad and inheriting this to your son before you die, and you're just like, yikes. Oops.
I have to give it to this pansy ass.
Yeah. He still reminds me of Preminger. We made that first comparison, like, our very first episode. Look how far we've come. It's been, like, months since that, and it's still right here.
Oh, God.
I also like that he's very... You don't hate him, though. Like, obviously, you hate him a little bit, but you also, like, he's very charismatic. Like, I don't know. He's just very likable. He's just very funny, you know, and his lines, like, with the outfits, like, do you think this has too much cow print on it? Like, all that stuff. I don't know. It's just, I can't find anyone in this show that I've hated so vehemently, except for maybe Redman. Well, he doesn't have many redeeming qualities, and I don't think he's supposed to.
He's such a fuck-up that he's almost enjoyable in his own right.
Yeah. I do enjoy how he thinks that everything's about him when really it's not, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, see? Respect, you know what I mean? Like, he's doing his best. So I kind of like that. I like that about him. So, I don't know. I think that that's a big, I don't want to compare too much, but I think that's a big improvement with Nomad of Nowhere compared to Ruby, is that I feel like Ruby, there are characters that people just hate. And that's it, you know what I mean? And it varies from person to person, but, like, lots of people, like, hate John exclusively, or hate Sun, or even the main girls. Some people hate Blake, you know what I mean? And it's very divided, but here, like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but, like, there's a lot of good boys. That's exactly. Like, I don't know. I haven't found anyone where I'm like, man, like, I hate that character. Like,
so where do you think... So, at the end of this, you see a big character turn for the Nomad.
Yeah, because he finally... I think he's, starting to remember some things, because I thought that Milda... I think
well, I think
name,
he still
right?
remembers. Or, yeah, no, yeah,
because she erased his
memory.
His memory. So, obviously, now something's happened to him that he's sort of remembering things. But yeah, I think that where this is gonna go is the Nomad's gonna break in. He's gonna fuck some shit up.
He's on top of a piñata.
I think it's sort of I don't want to say a self-fulfilling prophecy, but I feel like we're getting into a dangerous territory of people think that the Nomad is bad, and now that he's actually defending himself, they have evidence to prove in front of all these people that he is bad. Does that make sense? It's like before he wasn't fighting back, and so you could prove to people that he was actually good. All it took
was like a few minutes together, and Scout was able to see.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying that now he's fighting in front of all these people, so I'm saying he's becoming what they said that he was in the first place, maybe. A little bit. Like, not to the extent where people think that the Nomad is evil. I don't think that's it, but they're seeing him fight, and I think that's gonna be a problem later, like, in the show proper. I don't think it's a problem, like, as an audience member, but I think it's a problem in terms of inside of the show, because then they can see, look, the Nomad is exactly as bad as we said he was, look at what he's doing here in front of all these people. You know what I mean? He could say that. But I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But yeah. So that's something. In terms of where it's gonna go, I'm guessing that Scout and him are finally gonna run away together, and maybe Toph will come with them.
Maybe Toph will join because Toph and Scout have a dramatic moment where they're like, I loved you.
Sort of, yeah.
So
I would like to do a video about that ship, because I think that basically confirms that this ship is Endgame, I guess. Like, that Scout and Toph are Endgame.
Maybe wait for the next episode to see
Really?
Yeah, because because in the next episode, they're probably gonna run away from... Yeah, I know. But they're running away from each other, and I feel like that's because then it's just going to be another...
Can we at least make a video about them being gay as a separate component to them being a couple? Does that make sense?
They're both women, so it'd be fucking weird if they were a couple and yet somehow heterosexual.
No. I mean, I would like to do a video on basically, Scout and Toph, first LGBT main characters, like, that Rooster Teeth has had, sort of thing,
sure,
sort of
I
video.
guess.
I'm saying, as opposed to talking about the ship, because you're right, we should wait for the next episode before we talk about shipping things. But I think the ship happening and them being gay is two separate topics. Like, obviously they intersect somewhere, but I'd like to talk about...
I would say they intersect fairly significantly.
I'd like to talk about the LGBT fundamental of what's going on here. I don't know. You guys will probably understand what I mean after we release that. But anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, remember that you guys should become patrons over on Patreon to support the channel. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys. Hello, everybody. This is Calxiyn here. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember that you guys should become $10 patrons over on Patreon, or any level of patrons, as $10 patrons get to request videos that we get to do. Our $5 patrons get early access to basically all of the content that we put out, among other rewards. And our $1 patrons get access to our Discord server. So if any of this interests you, you guys should check it out. Bye, guys.